Hey everyone, we're playing 428 Shibuya Scramble. I tricked him. I tricked Andrew into doing another visual novel. I almost said virtual novel. That's also true. Virtual novel is also, I guess, accurate.
I'm a part of anything that has novel at the end of it.
So yeah, you guys know all that awkward, like, latency-induced talking over each other shit that happens with the Wander videos? Now I can get that experience with Andrew, because he lives in Dubai. Hooray. It really is remarkable how much that fucks with the ability to speak to people sometimes. Like the 0.3 second delay or whatever of transmission. This is a stylish intro screen. That's alright.
It is pretty stylish, minus the very obvious, like, low budget pictures in the background.
Or the,
like, I can tell...
or the vertical seam halfway through New Game. You see that? There's a vertical seam in the... Oh, it's in all of them. The gray background of all of these options has a weird vertical seam in it. I don't know. That's weird.
Oh, because that's where the PNG ended, and they just told the PNG to tile rather than stretch.
That's super.
So it's tiling the fucking texture.
But exits half as big, and it tiles in the middle of that one too. I don't know if you can see that so this is finangled as fuck. So Andrew's currently halfway across the world, and I'm streaming screen share to him through Discord. That's the current strategy.
It works.
But we're talking via TeamSpeak because Discord voice connection was so bad that we couldn't get that to work. He doesn't have game audio right now, but as far as I'm aware, this game has no voice acting, so it'll probably be fine. We're gonna do an anime. I'm excited because this is our follow-up to Zero Escape. And specifically, this game does one of the things that I was requesting specifically. I think you'll remember near the end of Zero Escape, I had like a very specific plan of how they can make this entire series more palatable to us. Is to divide it into chapters so that you have a forward momentum and you never go all the way back to the very beginning unless something super dramatic like end of game plot twisty was happening, for example. Because Zero Escape, specifically Virtue's Last Reward, sends you back to the beginning of the game like 12 times. And it's like, fuck, this is repetitive. So this game, you solve 1 hour at a time. You have a cast of 5 people, and you're trying to get them to the end of the day alive. And you solve each hour of the game like it's a level. But you're...
Wait, so this is like 24, the visual novel?
A little
where
bit.
Like every episode is an hour?
Kind of, yeah. Like we're playing as 5 characters that have parallel storylines, and we make decisions in them that affect themselves and each other. And you try to get through each chapter with everyone alive, with the goal to have them all survive the day, and maybe accomplish whatever goal each character has.
It sounds advantageous.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this, and also it's older than 999, which is interesting because this game just came out this year on Steam and PS4 and everything, but it's actually being translated for the first time into English after sitting on the Wii in Japan only for a decade. His game came out a year before 999. So that's a trip.
Did they re-release it on PS4 and PC for Japan?
I would presume so, but I don't know. All I know is they translated it for us here. They probably re-released it. It'd be weird if they didn't re-release it also in Japan. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Oh.
So what is your latency like anyway? I'm curious.
So I'm looking at the bookmark screen.
So I'm on 1. I'm gonna go down.
Okay.
What was that like?
I mean, it was about a second after you said down.
Okay, that's not bad for a visual novel. A lot of other options aren't gonna work for the setup. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, I can't platform this way.
No. Well, it'd be weird if you could control what was on my screen right now.
Well, I meant if we were doing like a 2-player game.
Yeah. Well, that would be an online multiplayer game that you would just be playing on your screen.
No.
What?
I'm only going to watch...
You're only going to do, like, remote play?
Yeah.
I'm going to hack into your second PS4 controller and join in. Do you want the guide to gameplay to be displayed? Recommend first... Yes. I don't know what that means, but probably.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. If you have unique mechanics, this is the place where I have to... This is a work of fiction. Just
they have to do that by law in Japan.
Yeah. They also do it constantly here. But it's really funny when it's like blatantly fictional in a lot of cases.
Yeah, like a time travel story. Like this is not real. Oh really? What tipped you off? The time travel?
You're blowing my mind here.
Oh, and you just blew
I
Spike
saw
Chickasaur's line.
eggs.
So no
is that-
voice
so
acting,
is that
no
Shibuya?
narration.
Right now we're just getting that styling theme song that was in the trailer,
Ah.
which sounds like it'd be perfect for DDR actually. Except
Cool,
somebody would be
cool.
going go, 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 go over the whole thing. Like
This is
rhythm-
technically.
Like, it actually reminds me of Rhythm and Police.
So what you're looking at is not Shibuya. Shibuya is there. That's Shibuya.
That crosswalk.
Sorta, yeah. Okay, so Shibuya is like a prefecture of Tokyo. So, hey, there's a soccer stadium on a roof. There's like Tokyo is a big city, and then they split it up into small sections, and Shibuya is one of the small sections in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So when they're doing overshots like that, it's just Tokyo.
But is that one, the one super crosswalk, is that Shibuya? The super crosswalk that shows up in every game I play that takes place in Tokyo.
No, there's we went to that crosswalk actually when we were in Japan. It's not in Shibuya, it's in where is it? It's in Tokyo, but it's not it's not in Shibuya. There's a lot of those, actually. There's a lot of giant crosswalks like that, but the iconic one you're talking about it's in Tokyo, it's not in Shibuya.
It's amazing how much this resolution style makes this look like a video game render.
Yeah.
Like this is clearly this is surely live action, but I looked at those.
Yes.
I'm looking at some of those cars and those like fans that were spinning on the roof. I'm like, that looks bad. That's a bad video game render. And I'm like, no, this is all real. It's just like a decade ago video quality.
Is it
Star
like
Wars? Oh.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a
番組の途中で
balloon?
すがニュースをお伝えします。新宿区オフィスビル立てこもり事件の速報です。今朝新宿6丁目のオフィスビルに目出し帽をかぶった40歳前後とみられる男が従業員数人を人質に取り立てこもりました。その後数時間経った今も男は会社員の話によりますと、立てこもっている男は北島という男である可能性が高いとのことです。その男は以前からこのビル内のある企業との仕事上の取引があり、金銭上のトラブルが絶えなかったということです。今回の立てこもりはそのトラブルに端を発したものではないかと見方が広がっています。
Oh. That was an explosion.
That guy's dead now?
Did that van just explode?
Cool.
Executive producer Jiro Ishii, the producer of, I think that's the producer of 999.
What?
Shibuya's story is yours to tell. So I've heard the game has no voice acting, so the lack of audio on your end shouldn't normally be a problem, but apparently there's an intro cutscene.
I'm curious if there will be.
Hello.
What?
As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. Thanks for telling me what video games are. Alright. In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Hopefully you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Aichi Endo. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. Here's my characters. They're like, get out, don't play as him. I guess we could each play one of these characters or something,
I guess
voice-wise. Do you want to play Aichi? What's his name? It was
that person's
Aichi.
Kano.
There we go.
Aichi.
Yeah, you can see it on the top of the screen. You can see the character you're selecting in the middle of the screen, but whoever's in the background is on the top of the screen. So there's probably the other four people probably fit rather evenly into the background there. One on the left and two on the right when we get to the other ones. So we have to go in as Kano.
And this is for 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Oh.
Anime.
Okay. This is going to be a wild ride.
Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. It's a fun, dramatic thing to say with no context. I'm just gonna add that to my daily life. I've got to get this upload done by 11 a.m. Lives are on the line here.
Yeah.
He eyed his surroundings.
Like, isn't he just a salary man? Like, what lives are in his hands?
Was the perp actually going to show up? Oh, okay. He's probably.
Oh, maybe he's is he a detective?
So he's the guy he's probably the one character that already knows about whatever the main crime is that's happening today. When?
The van exploding?
I think that hasn't happened yet, but I don't know. When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst.
Okay, yeah, so he's a detective.
Yeah. Photos.
These are pictures of random people.
All right, another minute and a half.
Oh.
Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been a part of an operation this big before. He eyed the woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case.
What? Wait, what? Like, specifically attaché?
Hitomi Osawa, age 19. The attaché case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night, at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachikō in Shibuya. Or it's Hachikō, isn't it? Like enunciation
it's the dog.
Wise.
Yeah.
It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. What do you think your chances that's one of the characters?
I'm pretty sure that's one of the characters.
One of the 5 characters. Although he knows him by name, so I'm almost wondering if it's one of the detectives pretending to be a homeless man.
Well, yeah, you can tell he has like a clean face for a homeless guy.
Yeah. Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Yeah, he's a detective. Kano tries to look nonchalant as he lifts his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous. Just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Oh, what? Wait, what?
Wait.
Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. Sorry, I mixed it up with internal monologue. Like he was genuinely confused, but it's just him like saying like he's pointing blame at him. Like you shouldn't be talking to me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a second there, I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. Some words and phrases and the text appear in blue. These are called tips. Press X to underline a tip, then press A. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. There are tips containing general knowledge and ones that are 428. Whatever. Okay. What does that mean?
Okay.
Specific.
Oh.
These are marked with a thing and a 428.
Yeah, so it's saying some of these are real and some of these are made up for the game.
Oh.
like the Shibuya precinct
Like some of
is
them
a real thing.
Some of it's life lore and some of it's game lore.
Yes.
Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano.
Man, what a crappy criminal. Okay.
It's a lot.
So-
oh boy, you can take this one for that pronunciation.
Yeah. So, official name, Shibuya Central Precinct. Responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including Uehara, Ugisudanicho. Wait, wow, this is wow, there's like a million of these. You're gonna list every neighborhood? Really? Fuck you.
Uguisu Danicho. Udagawacho, Ebisu
Nishi,
Ebisu Minami, Oyamacho, Kamiyamacho, Sakura Gao Kacho, Sasazuka. Oh yeah, you don't pronounce you skip one of those. You skip one of those vowels, don't you?
Yeah, it's Sasuka.
Okay.
Sasuka. It's like Sasuke. It's like Sasuka.
Saruga Kucho.
Shuko.
Shibuya.
Shibuya. Shoto.
Shibuya.
But so
Shoto.
okay, they're listing off literally.
Shinsejo. Jinan. Sendagaya. Daikan Yamacho. Dogenzaka.
Daikon Yamacho.
Wasn't Dogenzaka in
Dogenzaka.
that was a neighborhood we had to deal with in Tokyo Jungle, right?
Yes.
I think.
Dogenzaka.
Tomegaya, Nanpai Daicho, Naishi,
Nishihara,
Katagaya, Hachiyamacho, Hatsudai,
Hatsudi, Higashi, Hiro, Honamachi, Maruyamicho, Maruyamicho, Moto Yoyogicho, Yoyogoi, and Yoyogoi Gamatsoncho, Yoyogi Kami Onocho. So these are Jesus Christ.
That single name is almost long enough to be like the chorus of Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah. So this is what I was talking about. Like these are all the neighborhoods of Tokyo.
Yeah.
So this is all the different precincts. Yeah. So it's like, as you can see, whenever they do a shot and it's like, this is Shibuya, it's like, yeah, a part of 32 other, or like 31 other neighborhoods.
Yeah, it's like how I live in a neighborhood and so on.
Kinda. Yeah.
He always went a little overboard with the disguises.
Does he?
Can you go overboard?
He looks pretty. Yeah.
That's also he's just wearing an army jacket, or like an army surplus leftover jacket, and being frazzled.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I think overzealous would be a fake beard and crazy glasses and like.
Yeah, it's definitely a wig.
Yeah, that's a wig.
Yeah. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress up. Hey pal, spare some change? Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano. Knock that off.
I like to imagine this is real.
That he's just grabbing him?
I'm saying
the photo's real?
The photo's real. Like, this is just a guy who was not ready to be grabbed by a random homeless man. And he's just like, whoa. Like,
I'm just imagining the sheer number of photos that are going to be in this game. Like, that's some investment of time.
Is it? I feel like that's way easier than drawing or animating or anything. Like, it's basically
listen, I'm taking any blessing I can after a whole game of looking at 3 character poses per character for like 80 hours.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Like,
fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out. Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was a good reason for that confidence. They're also out of the line of sight anyway. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. Are they explaining the concept of a jurisdiction?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a
particular region over which an organization or a member thereof has control of authority. Refers here to the areas under the jurisdiction of various police precincts. The Metropolitan Police Department, at the pinnacle of Tokyo's police hierarchy, has vastly more authority than local precincts. But since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem.
But gotta keep an eye out for those. Before I click on them, they're like a harder to spot blue.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like those. Sometimes 2 or more tips will appear in a single screen. Press X repeatedly to change which words are underlined. Highlight the tip you wish to read and press A to continue reading, or press B to return to the reading the story. They went next level on font size here.
Yeah.
Statue of Hachikō. Oh yeah, it's the dog. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the wait. Okay, I don't see what the relevance is for the Moai statue and the green frog, but sure. Bronze statue of a dog erected in 1934. The dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master. Well known as a meetup spot outside of Shibuya Station. Other popular meetup spots at the station are the display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series, commonly known as the Green Frog, and the Moai statue by the west entrance.
Oh yeah, I think the Hachikō statue was in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, because I think that prominently featured Shibuya Crossing.
It's also in like a fuck ton of anime. There's so many animes having meat in front of that dog statue.
Is this the concept of an HQ?
Here refers to the Metropolitan Police Department, the Tokyo police station responsible for managing 101 precincts within the city, Japan's largest police organization. In addition to policing Tokyo, it has various other duties and authorities for maintaining public order in the capital.
Wonderful 101. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. What's up?
That's supposed to be ported over to the Switch soon.
Oh. So it can be unforgotten?
Yeah.
Look, just try to relax, we'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. You want to be radio voice? I have no idea what the voice is.
Okay. Like, all right, everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open.
It's that guy, apparently.
Uh-oh.
The voice coming in through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director.
The individual responsible for directing the investigation in the event of a serious crime. If a task force gets set up, the operations director is the one who assumes command. TV dramas and other fictional accounts often feature some young prodigy from the MPD as operations director, but in reality, the position usually goes to a proven veteran. Yeah, I don't know what... Like, why would you at all believe that the police department would hire a 20-something-year-old to run an entire operations department? Like,
so far the tone of some of the stuff reminds me of like when someone makes a medical show where the point is to stick it to all those inaccurate medical shows. Like, this is gonna stick it to all those police animes. It's like, this is how reality is, kids. Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya Precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor.
We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down.
Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear.
Well, fuck me.
You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant?
That face.
The face of the bottom one?
Yeah.
I like how the text frames the top guy's eyes specifically. The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Whap! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. That's not gonna... That's a weird display to see at all. The sound was louder than he intended. Though the suit hit his muscular physique, it did little to dampen the noise.
Wow.
He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. The department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard of investigation procedure.
Meanwhile, this poor girl is just like standing here for hours in front of a dog statue holding $50 million, hoping that no one comes and just like takes it from her.
Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing, Sasayama muttered. I don't know if that's me or you.
Who is this? Yeah, who's this talking? Well, it has to be them, because the operations director can't see it.
There he is. He's here. Nope, it's you.
Wait, what?
He's got an eye on the sky.
Can't.
I like the zoom. Wait, and Kuze broke in. His voice spiked into an excited chirp. There's lore for that?
Kuze's particular voice quirk: whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register, prone to babbling and pitching his voice.
Wait,
so my regular
your
voice,
deep gravelly voice, then just randomly goes high?
Yeah.
Okay, character traits. So that's you.
I guess I'll just use my regular voice I gave from originally, which probably fits.
Sure.
Subject is young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie.
Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves.
From laughter? Oh my god.
They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approaching Hitomi to talk to her.
Oh, you want me to be this guy?
No, that's the...
Oh, right, that's
Kuze.
guy. Yeah, sorry. All right, people. Be ready to grab this guy.
Kuze was stationed in the mobile command center, not far from the intersection. Oh, so he's right there. I thought he was...
Oh. He looks like he's in a room.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those tiny trucks that has like
he's like in a police van?
Yeah. Keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team.
By the way, there's a rule where they have to black out, or not black out, but they have to blur out the faces of, bystanders
Randos.
when you, yeah. And the fact that all those people in the background were not blurred out means they hired those people. Like, those people are hired to be there, which is great, because there's one guy who's just sitting there having a cigarette, so they paid him money to have a cigarette and take a picture of him.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, extras aren't paid that much, but, there's sometimes catering.
They also could have just been on the street and asked, like, anybody want to be taken in a picture? And the guy's like, I'm just having a cigarette, that's fine. Yeah, just pay me like $50. Like,
the young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. How much you want to bet this is a misunderstanding and he's not the guy and he's actually one of the 5 characters?
Well,
I'm totally betting on this guy being one of the 5 playable characters, and it's all a mishap and he's wrapped up in it now.
Given the fact that this is like 100% common occurrence in Shibuya, yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to pass things off.
Yeah, he's just advertising for shit.
The detectives watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? Think of a voice for this guy, because he's probably going to be talking soon.
Oh, shit. We actually get to make a choice? I'm not ready for this.
Almost like it's a video game.
Visual
Isn't that crazy how like games have choices that aren't like predetermined points in a mechanical structure?
Yeah.
You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people, in addition to changing your own fate. Make your choice with a button. The current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists.
Oh,
this is the one. They're telling us that because it's a tutorial, they're saying this choice won't actually affect anything.
Okay. I think it's once. B, honestly.
Yeah, the situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper, which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Yeah, it's not weird behavior at all. No one's going to be suspicious of her.
Yeah.
Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of Hachikō behind her. Until finally, the man gave up and walked away. Ori's not a character at all. Goodbye, guy. Guess it wasn't him.
His face is homeless guy. He just keeps getting worse. Like, now his hair looks clearly like a wig. He's just like making a dumb face. Like,
the character mugging is great. The faces that everyone's making so far. This guy is so far up his own ass as being like the protagonist of this story.
I do love the protagonist's hair. It is so fake, but like it's probably his real hair, but like styled. But
absurdly. There's hair
styled
there
so absurdly.
like crazy.
Yeah,
there's body to that. Guess it wasn't him. Kind of felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Sasayama muttered. That's a... What?
Are we really going to describe what this is? Succeeding at meeting someone on the fly like this takes a special knack. Looks are also important. Sometimes, of course, the person trying to get your attention out of nowhere is just trying to make a sales pitch for a product or a nearby establishment. At first glance, it isn't always easy to tell the difference. Yes, it is.
Is he hitting on her? Is he trying to hand off a pamphlet? Or is he a terrorist?
Yeah, like, I can assure you that, like, all of the girls dressed up as maids that were handing me tissues were not hitting on me. Like, I was not taken aback by it. I was just like, yeah, this is advertisement. Like,
I mean, she is pretty cute and all. He had a point. Though, of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She's got nothing on my Mi-chan. Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month.
Ugh.
Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself.
This motherfucker has the best reaction to that statement ever, where he just, like, his head just tilts slightly and his eyes just go hollow, where he's like, this time again about Mi-chan. God, and even the other guy's like, I need to tell you, it's so important. He looks, you've seen most people have probably seen Full Metal Alchemist. It's like Hughes.
Yeah,
he looks just like Hughes when he's talking about his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase has become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them. Fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now you can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation, Kano muttered, looking away. Ah, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. What is that expression now, by the way?
Well, I guess the expression of a man who just put his hand on your chest.
Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama paused for the phone. You got a pic on your girlfriend on your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did.
What?
It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were.
He is a detective.
Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I am investigating. Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket.
This homeless man just literally stole a phone.
From a police officer.
Yeah, from a police officer.
His face crunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this? It's not... Ain't this Masami Nagahama?
A national star tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or in national historical dramas. Her songs have been in a series of national hits, and she's even slated to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national.
Which side do you think we're going on here? You think parasocial relationship, or do you think he secretly has a famous girlfriend and he refers to her as a fake name? It could go either way.
It could go. I would probably say he has like it. Probably for the sake of the story, his girlfriend is probably not the famous girl. It's Yeah.
Or she's a playable character. Whoa. I have no idea who the cast is, so I'm just flailing.
I think he's just like, no, I mean, I think he's just one of those people that's really into idols.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the secret.
Dun dun dun. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rumi and she's... Sasayama cut him off. You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress, because this right here is Masami Nagahama. Like I said, you sly old dog, trying to make like you're dating Masaki Nagahama. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. All right, and why don't you marry her?
Can anybody in the van that's watching the cameras hear this conversation right now?
I imagine there's push to talk, right? Because there's so many people on the line.
I would hope so.
Kano stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that need to be overcome, like that.
Okay, yeah. Like, this is parasocial. Like, this is very scary.
Oh no! Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh. But his shoulder did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve him a bit of the tension. Maybe he should be grateful. Yeah, that was the plan. He's just so aloof that he's just a genius about this stuff. I like the on-screen, very obvious save icon that just says save. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos.
Oh, God.
Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life.
I would recommend, like, not holding
hold it
like,
cross-armed or something.
Or just, like, hold it in one hand and then switch
and
hands.
alternate,
Yeah.
She's holding it with her first 2 fingers of 2 hands, which is, like, good for a picture, but bad for holding a heavy case.
Yeah.
Like, holding it to your chest with your arms crossed over it would make it easier to hold, especially since you can brace against your own arms with your other arms.
Yep.
The kidnapping case had begun the day before, at around 7 p.m.
Dun dun.
This is the MPD dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person, believed to be an abduction. The concept of abduction.
So, in Japanese law, the act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into the crowd of a third party is known as kidnapping. Or control. Wait, what?
Control.
Oh, yeah, into the control of a third party.
In this crowd. That's kidnapping.
It's kidnapping. Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same result is known as abduction. Abduction.
I'm just thinking like, oh, what is this, a flash mob? That's kidnapping. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy. Last seen at the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jungumai's 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at the LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who'd reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister.
He looks way better without that wig.
Yeah, that's what he normally looks like, apparently. He doesn't even look like a cartoon character at all. It was the we have twin sisters here. Okay. Could you tell us about what?
I was gonna say it makes it cheaper because you only have to have one girl to play the role of both girls.
We only could find one woman for this entire production, so she's gonna play all of them. It's like
good.
It's like Heroes with the Ali Larder playing like 5 characters.
Also, I bet you she is also the person that was in the picture on the guy's phone.
Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the beginning? Kano said, damn it, keeping his voice low. My sister and I... Oh, you want the girl, enjoy girl voice.
Sure. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today.
Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse.
What? Hoarse? I don't... But I messed up this time.
That's not what that means. You know, hoarse does not default to hey Rocco.
But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to.
So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make.
Okay.
I have no idea who's speaking.
Why would something like this happen to her?
Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a look at the kidnapper?
Yes, it was a man, middle-aged.
Bakagaijin? There was another eyewitness, Leyland Palmer. He's the villain, he must be. He's American. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school.
Oh. I saw too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, and so I went to the window to look.
Is this your American voice?
This is how it sounds when you listen to someone speaking English in an anime. Like when someone's playing the role of an American, it's like...
Oh, but they're speaking lines phonetically?
Yeah.
His Japanese was halting, as if he hadn't been in the country very long.
Nailed it. And I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone.
Leyland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat.
Why does it have to be black?
I mean, black's a popular seat color. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leyland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene, looking for other potential witnesses when his phone rang. It was Yoshi Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives.
You want me to do it?
If you want to. There's so many characters.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of characters.
It's gonna be hard.
We've set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you have a handle on the situation there.
Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began operation.
Roughly 150 people are working on the case in a Shibuya precinct's conference room. The main force at work is HQ's first special investigation unit. Additionally, other detective sections, a riot squad, and investigators from neighboring precincts have been assembled.
When Kano and Sasayama got back into the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's house.
In a case where someone has been abducted for ransom, it is often difficult to resolve the situation without cooperating with the victim's family. But the family can also be a hindrance in making an arrest. To help guide the family's actions, a response team is assembled and stationed at the victim's home, led by an investigator with the proper training.
I've been dwelling a little bit on the way they're handling the text on the screen.
Yeah,
White with a black background usually makes it legible, although it's rough when the background is also black and white too.
Yeah,
like this, especially white.
It's
heavy.
Interesting because I can't tell if they went with this style because it was different from a normal visual novel style, or because the game was made so fast and cheaply that they didn't want to make their own engine that would require that has the box for the text in it, and so they just went with this instead.
So I'm thinking,
like,
I'm partly thinking resolution style. This was a Wii game, so it was 480p.
Do you think they did
I went back and played Persona 4 for a few hours a couple of years ago, and the text is huge in that game because it's a 480p like PS2 game. So their choice, I think they were choosing, like, it has to be this big to be legible comfortably. We're gonna make it either cover the whole screen or it's gonna be in that text box. And you've seen how much I have to press A to proceed in that text box on the bottom of the screen, so it's not optimal at all.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I think the Japanese is more compact.
I was gonna say, I think it looks weird because we're reading it in English, and I think in Japanese, it like this whole paragraph would be the size of that first paragraph. So
I think the previous symbols fit the screen a little better, probably. And now they're stretching the English over it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that also explains why they probably didn't try to get it translated in the beginning, was probably because, like, we're gonna have to like fill all the pictures with English. Like,
could you imagine this being a disc-based release in 2009 or 2008 in America?
No.
Next to like BioShock.
Yeah.
It'd be they were probably right to be like, this probably doesn't appeal to modern demographics, but they can put it out digitally. Although they still charged $50 for it.
Did they really?
Yes, this is not. Yeah, I was expecting like 20. They definitely still charged 50 for it, for a decade-old port. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPT detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm actually kind of upset that it's $50 and one of the options wasn't text size.
Oh yeah, I can double check next time, but I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, like, you had to have clearly you had to have changed the text of the game, because you also made it so it can scale to 1080. So, like, why didn't you just give me an option to make the text not ungodly huge, or at least even let me change the color of the text? Like, you can make it like
I'm cool with the text being big. For me, it's just that it can clash with the background sometimes. I also wouldn't mind having text that's colored based on the speaker at times would be nice. Just because of the press A to proceed element.
There's a lot I think you could have done to make the game a little bit better, given that it's now, you know, on PC or just in generally being updated. Like, there are so many options you could have added later after having the game already out for so long and being like, yeah, these are things that we wish we could have changed, but you just didn't.
The closest I can think of is that the lack of text formatting might be because they might intentionally space the text across the screen at times to fit the picture, or even have dramatic things where, like, you have like text going diagonal across the screen or some other nonsense that's more custom that might not scale. But I don't know. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping.
He pulls him aside. He's like, I found this picture. Which one of the girls is it? I can't tell.
There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following: tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachikō in Shibuya. Have the sister, Hitomi, bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit.
Oh, come on, man. You should have put it in a haiku.
And then translate the haiku. I think this game was translated by like a guy, so like that'd just be cruel at some point.
What? It was just like a guy?
Yeah. This I don't know. Somebody was bragging about like, oh, it's translated by this guy and he's really good. And it's like, I think it might be some freelance translator that handles small projects or something that is supposed to be good at making it actually good scripts.
I like the idea that it might have been a guy just literally reading the visual novel, or like the novel portion without the pictures and shit. Yeah. Just the novel portion, and then he has a computer next to him and he's just typing it out in English as he's reading it. So he's just like Dude, one skill that always kind of impresses me is that there's Let's Players that will play like
the samurai Yakuza game or something like that that's only Japanese, and they'll let's play it in English while saying everything in English, like live translating. I'm like, that sounds like it's like mental strain.
I watched Naya do that for me in France while we were watching some show. Like there was some show on TV, and she was like telling me the jokes as it was being said, and it was kind of like unnerving, where I was like, how do you like there's two people talking but you're saying the right thing because I can understand you. It's like, I don't.
Kajiwara from the precinct was put on the response team along with detectives from elsewhere who'd received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's house. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along.
Also, this guy is just enjoying a banana at someone's house.
Yeah.
Like,
it's part of the crime scene. We found this banana. I'm destroying the evidence. I'm planting the evidence. Planting a banana peel. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion. Arriving there at 8:30, these people are really into disguises.
I was gonna say, this is like an intense amount of work.
Yeah. They took this photo at the Dell store. Like where all the laptops are just lined up. Everyone just dresses up in costume and acts like they're on a set.
You know what the worst part is? They're not all Dell laptops, so I kind of believe it might be just at an electronics store where the laptops are lined up.
The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time.
The act of pinpointing the source of an incoming phone call. The police are not allowed to do this independently without oversight. They must go through a formalized process that includes securing the cooperation of the phone company. In the past, conducting the trace itself would take time, but nowadays acquiring the location can be practically instantaneous.
Get scared, criminals.
Yeah, that's not nerve-wracking to think that at any moment a person could be upset with you and be like, I think that guy's suspicious. Where is he right now? And the moment you accidentally make a phone call. Yeah, it's like,
But there were no further calls.
Oh no, we went to the Dell store for no reason.
At least they were prepared. Save. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes has now passed since the time designated as for the ransom handoff. No, I meant the other Hachikō statue. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced the question he'd been asking himself ever since he heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged. Figure he must want us blend in with the crowd, nab the money, and disappear before anyone knows he's there. Would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper, after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operation. Yeah, but the longer he waits, the more all the people who are clearly police stand out, because they're not leaving.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like at some point you start noticing the people.
Yeah. Hey, that guy with the weird blue suit and the homeless man have been standing there for like 20 minutes. That's weird.
I guess that guy doesn't have a job.
Yeah. Maybe they're starring in a feature film. Was it Tokyo Godfathers?
Tokyo Godfathers were homeless people, I think.
Yeah, alright, they were all homeless people.
Yeah.
Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius where Hitomi stood. That's a significant percentage of the people.
Yeah.
God damn. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk in this if this plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachikō. You're overthinking things, pal. Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. It's veiny.
Yeah, oh Jesus.
This was Kano's dick diary.
Ooh, what? Oh, detective diary.
It's veiny.
Yeah,
which always
turned out
close at hand. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Aha! Here it is. You write really big.
First of all, I need to wonder...
Gotta get this for the Wii audience.
Why would you waste an entire page?
He writes with a paintbrush.
Yeah,
This fancy-ass motherfucker. Whenever he writes a note, he has to let it sit for half an hour to dry.
This guy is literally doing calligraphy to write notes. Why? Why the fuck are you doing that? Like,
yeah, maybe it'll be in a blue text. This is his character quirk.
Jesus.
Dick dictum 89.
What?
The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be.
It's fucking, oh my god, it's like a goddamn quote book. This is the stupidest shit ever.
He's never gonna be in an escape room ever.
He dedicated an entire page to write Dick Dictum 89. That is what that one page is.
89 over there. Oh yeah, so Dick Dictum's on the right page, huh? And then the whole left page is the text.
Well, yeah, because you read right to left.
Right.
But
It's just because I can see the 89. I'm like, oh.
But the fact that he wrote Dick Dictum 89 on an entire page, like...
I can appreciate that's not a random scribbly page and is literally a picture of the thing that it says it is, as opposed to the usual.
So many games
will cut to a generic page and be like, yeah, the newspaper totally says that.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between like buying a notebook for $2 at Staples and writing in it and like printing a newspaper.
It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd be placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. Joke's on you, Tateno's the kidnapper.
Jesus.
He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom was being handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah.
We better look at this billboard behind us. Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood his love.
Yeah, okay.
Kano had faith in Tateno as both a detective and an individual.
It is love.
He just likes to idolize people from afar constantly. That's his character trait, judging by his phone.
Wow.
Yeah. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during the standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene.
Wait, why did he throw gasoline on himself, though?
It's 3 years ago, younger man. You can see the years fly off his face.
Yeah, the years did so much to him, like, made him need glasses.
The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions, and Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. It's like those moments in Yakuza where they learn a new moveset because they're like, that's rad! Still, you know... Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great as a detective as Tateno is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So?
God, the bananas.
they like.
Wait.
Was he the one eating the banana in the other scene?
Maybe, but also...
Is that his character trait?
Are you a homeless man wearing a wedding ring?
Yeah. You can be you can be homeless and have a past. It's his tragic backstory, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think the moment you get you're homeless, you're like, I'm gonna pawn off this ring?
Yes.
To my dead wife or whatever.
I mean, like, literally, yes. If you're homeless, why would you not try to, like, gain as much money as possible to, like, survive as long as possible? Why would you hold on to a wedding ring? It has no value.
Only time anyone hears a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you've got celebrity chefs and... celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? Seems like counterproductive.
You call them gumshoes, like...
well, that's a term for detective and stuff, but also it's like...
I know, but...
I feel like being famous is counterproductive to your job.
As a detective? Yeah. I don't know, actually. I wouldn't say it's counterproductive unless you're trying to go undercover like these guys are, I guess, which I don't think is something detectives really do often. I think they tend to be more like on the street looking up, like trying to find people and then doing paperwork all day. Like, they're not really ones to, I don't know, you know, like they don't dress up as homeless people. Yeah. Like, I don't think.
Look, please. Can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes, then turned his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Doesn't have time. Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, readying the team's vehicles, clamp.
A base of operations is usually set up in a large room at the precinct, or
That's precinct, yeah.
Yeah, precinct. My brain just stopped. Such as an auditorium. The MPD and precinct investigators assemble there, and communications equipment, investigation resources, and such are brought in. Because of the scale and scope of these activities, newspaper reporters can be liable to notice, and so in cases such as kidnapping, where a victim's personal safety is at stake, the flow of information is tightly controlled. Censorship.
Yeah. Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks. Kano had barely slept the previous night, and hadn't gotten a meal in either. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffs at his chest. Saving up my energy for today. Oh, I'm backwards. Damn it.
Yeah.
Saving up my energy for today. So you were sleeping. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. That's you.
Oh, sorry. There he is!
Kuze's voice chirped and suddenly through Kano's earpiece.
A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. Wait, what?
Oh.
Oh.
That's your character.
Dude, this guy is totally eco-friendly. Did you see his shirt?
Of like the evil water bottle.
Yeah.
And the recycling. Have you picked out a voice for him for when you play him for a whole chapter? Probably.
I got a good voice for him.
A young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode toward her, a sinister look on his face. I figure whoever's chapter it is, that person will read that chapter overall.
Yeah.
Besides the random voices. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but kind of felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's got to be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with a desperate strength. It was him. Dramatic zoom. The detectives rushed in. Wow. They got him fast.
Wow. Well, they said there's like, what, a whole bunch of them in a 50-mile radius?
Yeah, they just body tackle him. Real awkward blowing their cover if it's the wrong guy. That's you, though.
Oh. Whoa, hey, what the hell?
The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh, geez, I think we've got another suspect on the scene. He's taking the ransom. They got the wrong guy. How did no one look?
There's also supposed to be like hundreds 50. Of you.
Kuze's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect.
Why did all of them go for one guy? Like, you could have sent half, like 25 of your guys into one guy.
The previous claim was probably correct that the suspect probably hired this guy to be like, hey, go grab that suitcase. Okay.
Yeah.
What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in?
Huh? Oh, sure. That'd be swell.
I'm on it. With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to Shibuya Precinct.
Look, man, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap.
In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name to as Aichi steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why'd you steal that case? Kano watched Aichi's face intently.
Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out.
It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case. I have no idea who this is. Oh, it's probably you.
She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside.
An entry from Kano's Dick Diary shot through his mind. I'm not ready for that name. Dick Dictum 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank out the truth.
Okay, that's something to find in a dick dictum.
The Dick Dictum. Classic advice for questioning. Something's important, you say? Such as...
How the heck would I know?
Aichi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. This standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind, chasing down criminals as well as good, but questioning... Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Aichi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his Dick Diary. Dick Dictum 54. Haste makes waste.
That's it?
He felt his tension subside, remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Aichi once more. You were there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation. Weren't you?
Huh?
Aichi looked a bit dumbfounded.
What are you on about?
Dick Dictum 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudon if you like.
Oh, come on. That's like Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlet and egg. There are several variations, such as the sauce katsudon, where the egg is replaced with the Worcestershire sauce, and miso katsudon, where the pork is stewed in miso. Not typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during an interrogation. This could be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided.
I straight up had katsudon like 3 days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Katsudon's really good. I need to...
Yeah. Aichi nodded silently. Katsudon is really good.
It is really good.
Aichi devoured the bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's this guy after? Aichi just shrugged.
I don't know.
He murmured, a thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked. But Aichi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot now. We've raised the cap now of what we know about. Let's see, number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to this book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. How did he get all of these pieces of advice from this one guy, by the way?
I guess he talked to him a lot.
Yeah. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours.
What?
I'm wondering what impact this has on the hourly structure of the game. Maybe that hasn't started yet. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatsuno would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the dick diary like it was scripture. This character seems to have no original thoughts in his entire head. No. And that face looks like this guy knows. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Aichi out. His eyelids dropped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. What was number 116?
Not relevant.
Apparently we skipped over that, huh? Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh?
Wow, he killed him.
It's like when you name a demon. And then you just have power over them. Aichi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same thing as nodding yes, right? That's not how police officer... No.
Wow, that is like the worst police officer ever.
Mr. Kuze, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime.
Wait, which guy is he talking to? Kuze, okay.
Yeah.
So, is he excited right now, or is he just...
I don't know.
What? What are you talking about?
Kuze laughed in disbelief.
We are just about to apprehend the mastermind here.
Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you,
listen, why don't you,
Look.
look, just wait there, or wait there at HQ, okay?
I have to spot the close quote at the end, because I thought it was, thought it was thoughts. No, it can't be. I failed.
Dun 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 dun. Oh my God! Don't kill yourself.
He's handing in his badge and gun, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is a bad ending. So they're going to tutorialize how your fates can affect each other. So we're probably going to play as the other guy and not do what caused this all to happen. Because that's why so much time passed, because this is a bad ending.
Okay, I get it.
After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. Probably not. He dropped the dick diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time.
I wouldn't leave that behind. That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, burn that. You don't need to know about your dick diary. Bad end.
Wait, how is it a bad end though? They're literally about to catch the mastermind. Like, isn't that good?
Maybe they're not really catching the mastermind. Maybe just they think they are. Ooh.
All right.
Or maybe it's only a good end if his career turns out well.
Okay. Forget the other life at stake.
Kano wound up at a bad end. However, this doesn't mean that the choice you made for Kano was the wrong one.
What?
One of the other protagonists, Aichi Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title and press the button. You can press... Oh, so long, Shibuya. Oh, that's a description of the number one ending.
Kano had every reason to suspect Aichi Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Aichi hadn't approached Hitomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Aichi's story up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him, and things should play out differently.
All right. Well, this could be interesting.
I mean, that's kind of nice. Thanks. That's better than just to be continued, black screen, fade out. All right, let's start the game over.
Aichi.
Oh.
You can now select Aichi Endo, one of the other protagonists. Let's follow Aichi's story for a little while. Dwam! You noticing this noteworthy interface element here?
No.
The time chart.
Oh, fuck.
I can't use it. You cannot open the time chart here.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because I imagine that might be like a slight. It might be slightly wrong to say that. It probably says it probably is meant to say you can't open the time chart now. It'd be stupid.
Yeah.
It'd be stupid if you can't open it here because this is the only.
It's the only place you could see that option.
Yeah, I can't back out to a before the character selection screen. It just goes back to the title screen at that point. So like it wouldn't be on the screen if I couldn't do it here. But I probably
also
haven't unlocked it yet.
technically time hasn't moved.
Yeah.
If you
right now
notice
it would be one
like,
dot.
Yeah.
You did it. All right, ready, Kano? I mean Aichi. Shit.
Yeah, I was like,
I get distracted by the one. I get distracted by the title screen on top, but that's not what I'm playing as. It'll make way more. This whole screen will make more sense when there's more than 2 people on it.
Hopefully.
Oh,
Persona?
Oh yeah, this is my kind of game.
I am Triangle Man.
Dude, that TV is like bonkers old.
Eco.
Ah.
My favorite games are Eco and Shooter of the Colossus.
Achiendo called out at the door to his father's room.
okay, I'm heading out.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know.
Right. His father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door.
Sure you don't want me to stay here in the shop?
It's not like we're gonna get any customers.
Aichi grimaced.
Yeah, I guess not.
The drawer by the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Aichi pulled a few of them out.
Guess it's gonna be that kind of day.
He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket, then slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. The entryway to Aichi's home also led into the family shop. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail space. The slightest bump brought the risk of an avalanche.
I gotta point this out because you can't hear it. The soundtrack became like Dynasty Warriors for this guy.
Oh, perfect.
Like with all the percussion and electric guitar and everything. Like it's like it's one of the more boring Dynasty Warriors tracks, but it's like that kind of tone right now.
Aichi wove his way through the gaps in the appliances like a spelunker exploring a cave. That's okay.
So like
from Shibuya Station,
while driving stakes into the walls and holding onto a rope.
Yeah. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past the 109 building, then up through Dogonzaka, you come across an old shopping district. Nestled in its outskirts is Endo Electronics, in the same place it's been for decades. Within its dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of wares all caked in dust. At a glance, you might well assume the place was closed. A mom-and-pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with the big consumer chains booming throughout Shibuya. So far, the store had remained in business, thanks to the locals who appreciated that they made house calls to do repairs. But things weren't looking good for the future. Aichi, the eldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest whatsoever in working there. Makes sense. I mean...
Ego.
Aichi stepped... Yep, right. Aichi stepped out of the shop and into the sunny morning air. The good weather lifted his spirits.
Alrighty, time to do this.
He unfurled one of the big garbage bags, which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape.
That fisheye action shot.
Right?
The swooping fisheye action shot was so dynamic that I at first thought that he threw his bag, and because my eye locked onto that like lamp up there and thought that was his bag sailing through the air. I'm like, I don't understand what he's doing.
Then he slowly made his way toward Shibuya Station, scanning his surroundings all the while.
Sheesh, this place is filthy.
He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag.
Action
What a good guy.
montage of a guy being just a good dude.
He'd been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now.
I like how we're just immediately making ourselves as guilty as possible for arresting this guy.
Right?
He's literally just picking up trash and being awesome.
It had gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him like a sore thumb. Most days, he filled his trash bag to the top by the time he made it from his house in Dogenzaka to the train station. Jesus. Today, he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention. I'm sorry. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by 2 men, one with brown hair, one with black. From the look of them, he guessed that the men were scouts for some hostess club. He ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash-cleaning walks around town. Another kind of trash to take care of. Dun, dun, dun.
Are you Kiryu? This is exactly like every 5 seconds of Yakuza, where like just 2 thugs are just like accosting someone and won't go away. It's like
they're always accosting a woman. It's perfect.
time to use a heat action and throw them into the garbage can.
One gets like a mouthful of nails, and the other one gets thrown in the trash can. They're both okay. They both survive.
Yeah, Kiryu doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah, never. Aichi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the 2 recruiters.
Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her?
Huh? Who the hell are you?
The 2 men glared.
Take a hike, pal.
Come on, you gotta do like the perfect like "Rah!" Aichi stood his ground.
Look, she ain't interested. You're just gonna have to find some other mark.
The hustler's annoyance turned to open rage.
Well, listen to you. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy?
The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum like a dog worrying a bone.
How about we take this someplace more quiet, yeah? Someplace more quiet?
What this means can depend on the person speaking. To a young woman, let's go someplace more quiet might suggest a cafe or a park, but to a street punk, it might mean an alley where passerbys are unlikely to interrupt.
Oh my god. The tone of this switched so quickly to me, where I showed you a clip of this series of unfortunate events on Netflix. All the moments where like the guy from Family Guy will just talk directly to the camera to explain the meaning of a word in a slightly comedic way. Like this is the exact tone where it's like in the middle of being accosted on the street, like just looking directly into the camera. It's like talking about how this meaning can vary from person to person.
The girl stood by uneasily watching the goings on.
Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble.
Is that supposed to be an apology? On your knees and beg, pal.
The man spat his gum onto the ground. That's just
Photo of
rude.
gum, macro shot.
Aichi looked down.
Put that on my
glistening-
DeviantArt.
Someone has. Aichi looked down at the glistening wad of gum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished.
You better pick that up right now.
You've stepped on both of my 2 morals. What? Didn't you hear me? Because I told you to get down on your knees and...
Aichi's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw.
Whoa, easy, pal.
The other man's bravado drained from his face. Aichi tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. The man struggled, but Aichi just tightened his grip.
It becomes a real pain in the ass to clean up after it's gotten stuck to the street, you know? Ever stop to consider that?
Wait, are you...
The other hustler's panicked eyes fixed on Aichi's chest.
Oh, crap. That shirt, man.
The guy's voice was starting to break.
That's mean clean.
What? What is mean clean? That needs to be in blue. I need that in blue for me right now.
A guy with a mean clean shirt carrying around a trash bag. That means you're
His face went pale.
mean clean.
The other man echoed the words through his held shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes.
Get it right, pal.
Aichi clenched the man's jaw harder still.
It's mean clean.
We're sorry, man. You're Aichi, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea. Come on, man, you're gonna cut us some slack.
The man scrambled to snatch the wad of gum off the street, stuffing it into his pants pocket. Ooh. You could have just put it in Aichi's trash bag.
Yeah, or just held it for a second instead of gumming your pants.
Yeah.
I guess it's not
Finally,
like a straw.
Finally, Aichi let go of his companion. The brown-haired hustler's face was twisted up with fear. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off.
I have no idea if that's you or the girl.
That's probably the girl. Hey, so... A shy smile came across the girl's face.
The concept of a
what?
girl. Oh, it's her name, I think.
Ryoko sorry. It's very hard to
now.
it's very hard to burp and speak Japanese at the same time, it turns out. A second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. These hustlers managed to corner her while she was on her way to her part-time job at a cafe. It's a popular plot in trashy e-novels from the main character to fall in love with a hustler like these guys, but such things rarely happen in real life.
So I guess she'll be a character that shows up again.
Maybe.
I like how they had to specify this is 428 specific lore. A character.
This is
in the fictional
428's
story.
girl.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me.
No, I apologize.
Huh?
The girl stared in surprise.
You're running to creeps like that now and then, but don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town.
Yeah, okay.
Aichi gave her a quick wave, then turned and continued on his way down Dogonzaka. Aichi was Shibuya born and raised. Where I spent most of my days. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stalls in inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled in between buildings. Aichi knew it all like the back of his hand. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. What?
Oh my god, it's moving. It's moving. How was it prepared for motion?
Aichi made his way down toward Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the scramble. The view shifted constantly from the moment to the next, almost as if the city itself were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart. With streets like Bunkamuradori and Center Gai serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people.
I don't know, I'm more of a center guy.
Today, as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. There was Aichi, just another part of this great urban organism.
Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells.
Okay, now he's just self-narrating his role in society.
Yeah.
Or wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell?
No, that's not how cells work.
I don't think you know how the metaphor works. I think you lost the thread. He was right the first time. If
yeah, like you are more
trash of both kinds.
You're more accurately a white blood cell than a red blood cell, which is what most of the general public would be.
Yeah, like a salaryman would be a red blood cell.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have it right the first time?
Wow. White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Aichi was probably thinking of white blood cells.
All right. We're on the same
Thanks.
page, I guess.
Yeah, I'm glad that all accounts, we are all on the same page here.
Oh yeah, we're getting back on the same track quickly.
Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachikō outside of Shibuya Station. This has little to no build-up compared to how long it took just to get this guy to show up on screen the last time.
Oh yeah, it'd be it'd be brutal about amount of build-up if we did all that again. Like, people.
Oh, you mean like fucking Zero Escape makes you do? Like,
the people that wrote this might know something about pacing.
oh no, don't say that out loud, Keith. You might upset the droves of fans who have never read a good visual novel before.
Oh, she's totally my type.
Okay, what is his type?
Was he just hitting on her?
To be made, to be up someone's alley, to be someone's cup of tea.
Those are just more metaphors. Those don't clarify it if you don't.
Those don't clarify it at all, though.
Wonder if she's a model or small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang.
I guess you could call it that. Good
Yeah.
looking as she was. What?
I just mean like, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. Good looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably the rich-ass CEO of an IT company or something. Hey now, whoa. No, we don't score any hot girls. We just pay a lot of money for houses in San Francisco. Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. She was carrying an attaché case, the kind a businessman might use. It was a large case, and apparently so heavy that she was struggling to hold it despite using both hands. Well, using both fingers. These were not really choices, but like self-inflections.
Yeah.
You've reached a decision point.
Let's have Aichi not approach
Hitomi.
We can be like the twins in every creepy thing. Let's see. So what kind of person makes a young lady lug around something heavy like that? No, don't carry it for her.
Figured, yeah.
But first I gotta dump this trash. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby.
Good idea.
But first I gotta dump this trash.
He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby.
Now Aichi won't approach Hitomi, which means he will avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change. He will no longer wind up at a bad end. So let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart.
Oh!
Neat. This is the time chart. It shows the protagonist's progression through the story. Decision points are marked with arrows.
Okay.
Kano's fate has changed based on Aichi's actions. Select Kano's 1030 block and press A. So over here, what's all this stuff? Oh, that's the whole timeline we saw before, yeah.
That's
Look at all that.
Very long timeline.
Did it say to choose Kano's 1030 block? All the way down here?
Yes.
Oh, the top is the oldest.
Yeah, top is the oldest.
It's going in the
1030.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1030 is when he arrested him.
Yeah. No, I because of just like the image of a tower, I thought up was further than timeline, so I was confused. But no, that's just so there's the time skip of him just walking for a long time and nothing really happening as he collects garbage in a montage, and that's that accounts for all this time passing. Wow, so it's broken down really wow, every like 5 minutes. That's real specific. This is a cool interface that will eventually have 5 towers in it. God damn. All right, yeah, let's find out what happens. You've escaped narrating already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I'm done.
I suppose you could call it that. Kano gave a wry chuckle as his partner's lack of shame.
Oh. There he is!
Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece.
Okay. Did you want to
hire? Crazy.
You hired like a Keanu Reeves knockoff?
What is that? Previously, Aichi got mixed up with Kano and the police, but now another man has appeared instead by changing what Aichi did. You've also changed Kano's story. This is a bit of an over-explanation of this mechanic at this point.
Well, you turned the fucking guide on.
Yeah, but I feel like they've tripled the amount of description that had to happen to explain this mechanic. He's not Japanese.
The man in the black coat. He's not Japanese. Looks to be in his early 30s.
A foreign man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He made his way toward her, his expression blank. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but kind of felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment. All right, Sasayama raised an eyebrow. This may be our guy.
It's probably really hard to make a living in Japan as a foreigner, so, you know, gotta take whatever jobs you get.
This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the attaché case. Do-do-do-do! It was him! En masse, the detectives began to close in. Let's go, Kano! On it. Sasayama and Kano leapt into action. But they never expected what happened next. He exploded.
Jesus!
With the case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right toward them. What?
He either has a gun or he's gonna knock them out.
Keep out! What is...
What? Well, I mean,
don't know what that means.
You told me to come here.
Oh. Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out. Keep out refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. So we have to switch perspectives to witness this part from somebody else's perspective, probably.
Ah.
In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist story. At 10:30, Aichi has the text. Young man in a suit, said it in red keywords. Checking these keywords will allow you to jump from Aichi's story back to Kano's. Now head back to Aichi's story and keep an eye out for that. Key phrase.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So there's like a direct interaction between the stories when they're near each other or something?
Yeah.
Try following the story from Aichi at 10:30. Approach the girl. We're learning mechanics. Mechanics. Approach the girl.
Yeah, approach the girl choice. Which we chose B.
Yeah. Which we don't want to mess that up, because we know what happens. Ah! Press up to go back, and reread sections you've already played through. To scroll ahead through text you've already read, press down. When rewinding and advancing like this, a thing will sometimes appear in the upper left corner. Press A while this is being displayed to reread the current page.
Okay.
Okay. So I can like go all the way up through the stuff? Yeah. My type. Okay. I don't think that's relevant to this, it's just useful.
Yeah.
Gotta dump this trash.
But first I gotta dump this trash, yada yada yada. Huh?
A man had come up beside the girl. He was dressed in black, and he wasn't Japanese. Is that a problem for you guys? Like, it's like, you know?
It's just that non-Japanese people stand out so much that they're remarked upon in these stories every time.
I guess, like, the old lady in the back is just like, oh boy, the American boy showing up.
Oh, the far left guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It looked like they were having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely at something the man said. Aichi stared. In front of the detectives? That seems annoying.
Something tells me that's not her boyfriend.
The girl handed the attaché case over to the man. He took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away.
Whoa!
Cartoonish launch.
A nearby homeless man suddenly leapt over Aichi and broke into a run, as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. Yuji Sasayama, a detective with the Shibuya precinct, known as the cosplay detective, due to the strange outfits he wears while on stakeouts. He's partnered with Shinya Kano for the kidnapping investigation.
The cosplay detective. Oh, he's going to be the one guy in that picture we saw before we started playing.
Oh, perfect.
That's
the one
totally
that
him.
was the one that wasn't an actual cosplay, but just
the anime boy.
Spinning alongside him was a young man in a suit.
Some words in the text appear in red. Red text denotes important keywords let you jump between different protagonists. Stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear out a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press X to underline it, then press A. A window will appear, allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point. Then press A to continue. The other character's story after the keep out. Give it a try. There's a lot of like really awkward mid-sentence press A to continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm getting really annoyed by the fact you read a line and then the moment you press A, it's just one word left.
And it's the rest of the sentence and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like.
So what I'm wondering is what the mechanical purpose of this mechanic will be. But let's find out. So we're gonna switch back to him again. R.I.P. to your narration. R.I.P. to your narration again.
Cool.
But performing a jump from this screen, you can advance another protagonist's story past to keep out. Press A to confirm and jump over to Kano's story. Yeah. That video gamey ass interface.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's going full corny.
Let's go, Kano. On it. Sasayama and Kano leapt into action. You did it! Jump successful. In 428, you often need to jump to get past another character's keep out. Jumps from red keywords to clear a keep out. Keep this in mind as you advance through the story. Okay, there won't be any more tutorial message for a while, so if you get stuck somewhere, try changing protagonists or making different decisions to advance. You can now use the time chart from the main menu. Did I just read that?
Yeah.
Didn't I just say main menu?
No, you said you can. It said you can now use the time chart from the main menu to go.
Oh, you can now use the time chart and the main menu.
Oh, and the main menu.
Then it says from the main menu. Okay.
Yeah.
I can scroll here.
That's kind of cool.
You can access gameplay explanations and adjust settings. Yep. The main menu is here. Bad ending list. Look at this. It's a list of bad endings. You can find out why things ended badly as they did. Huh. Neat. There's supposed to be 50.
What?
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to reach all of them, but yeah, there's no text size option. I don't think you necessarily have to reach every single one, but there are 50 potential bad endings. You could just make the right choice the first time instead.
Unless we're watching every ending.
Yeah. Sasayama and Kano leapt into action, but they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man suddenly veered, running right towards them. What? Catching sight of the two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt, then bolted off in a new direction. Oh, he wasn't actually charging them? That was like a coincidence?
No. He was basically like, this is the best escape route, and then saw a homeless man and a man in a suit charging at him, and he's like, other way. Yeah.
Doom. Kano whipped off his costume glasses and followed in hot pursuit. Why the bananas? Why?
Because that was what the
so many bananas.
That's what the homeless guy was eating.
Yeah. So his glasses were pretend.
Yes.
At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red, and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lurched back into motion. Action! It's almost like these are all still...
Look at the white girl in the background just watching and going like, is this like normal for Japan?
Like trying to tell what they're looking at.
Yeah.
There was no escape for the culprit now. Or so it appeared. Smoke bomb.
Dude. They even have the in the background, that's a smoking room.
They have smoking
Like-
stalls in Japan?
Yeah, like look
In
at
public,
in
where
the
you go into a separate location to not smoke on
yeah
people?
yeah. There's like an area you go into and it like prevents
Did you go
from,
into? Did you take a selfie in one of those when you were there?
Yes. Yeah. I went to one that was it was in a mall. There was one in a mall, so me and Kel went into it, and I took a selfie there.
And it
then,
has like a localized like air conditioning thing to vent it out or something.
yeah, they're like all over the place. There's a lot of places that have them, like subways and or like trains and stuff like that. I think me and Kel also went into a train cart or like one of the carts for a train that was a smoking car. So that was weird too, just
Damn.
like smoking on a train. Whereas like, is this safe? Couldn't we just catch the train on fire? Like,
Yeah. The converging cops slowed their pace, confident their man was cornered. Into his crotch. Then the foreigner barreled straight into the intersection, dodging between the oncoming cars without any hesitation. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with him. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into traffic at the crossing.
Kano, please.
Kano, are you crazy? Come back! Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. Action! With shouts and sirens echoing all around him, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer. Just a little closer and he'd be in tackling range. He leaned forward, preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never. That's,
Kano, back off.
yeah.
Don't take him down.
It was Kuze, shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he really just been ordered not to apprehend the criminal?
Let him go for now. The real perp is someplace else. Perp is police jargon for perpetrator. Here, Kazu is referring to the fact that the principal offender in this case must be elsewhere.
Kazoo?
Kazu?
It's Kuze, right?
Kuze, Kazu.
What had happened to the plan? He'd been told that all personnel were to secure the area as ASAP. Didn't HQ want him to catch the perpetrator?
Arrest team, stay on the foreigner's trail. Police team dedicated exclusively to the task of apprehending the criminal. While a kidnapping case is in progress, the roles of the officers involved are carefully designated so that every officer is ready to take immediate action as the situation develops. Typically, tired and true veteran MPD officers are put in charge of teams for breaking into buildings or apprehending the suspect. Forensics team, get busy cross-referencing photos. Team deployed by the MPD to handle the actual tests and techniques of on-scene investigation, such as collecting and comparing fingerprints and analyzing photos of suspects.
Even if this foreigner was only an underling hired for this one task, the police had now tipped their hand they'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper, a girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his dick diary. I'll never be fully ready for this. Dick dictum 12. Always assume a worst case scenario.
That's kind of morbid.
If you cross that with the other one about how he thinks that all the most irrelevant things are the most important things, how does he survive thinking that every random pebble in the street is a bomb? Like, these don't mix well. If Kuze had told him to let this guy go, that implied he was counting on the team that was now in position. But if the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded, what was the right call here? Should he take this guy down, or back off after all? We have a choice. So we can try to catch him anyway and ignore orders, or we can chase after the guy and Kano has a job. Let the other guys chase him down and then do whatever Kano wants to do? Huh.
I guess so. I don't know what job Kano has to do, actually, so
Oopsie.
I don't really...
We have choices. Choices.
I don't know.
My current theory is I think they're allowing him to escape. Like they kind of want to...
Yeah, they're gonna like trail him and see where he goes.
Yeah, I think part of it here is that they had like a fake, I don't want to put it, they had like they had a big dramatic stakeout where he was supposed to actually get away so that he could then escape and lead them to the guy that he actually works for.
Yeah.
And they're like they're doing the make it look real thing. Let's let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano has his own job to do. I don't know what that means though. Kuze's instructions have been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. He broke off his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the other guy's face. But if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The perp was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear.
Here, someone's taking Hitomi.
Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawking immediately. It's the only person that talks to you on that thing. You should be not surprised.
Subject is male. He appears to be carrying a gun. He's fleeing in the direction of Meiji Dori.
What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. What if this was a double trap? Like we're all like, we're gonna chase after the fake perp, but let him get away kind of so that we can trail him to the real perp. But what if the whole ransom was what if the entire ransom was a lie and they just wanted her to carry the money at the specific location so that the police could be then distracted away when the person takes the suitcase so that they could just kidnap the girl.
That's pretty smart.
Double cross.
I mean, if you think about it realistically, you could probably make more money from selling twins in a sex slave market for more than you would get for $50 million.
Something's very wrong here.
Because yeah.
What in the world's going on? Kano hurried to search for the man who'd taken Hitomi. If he was heading toward Meiji Dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. A man was dressed in black, just like the guy who'd grabbed the ransom money. Kuze's right. The kidnapper wasn't acting alone. But wait, something was amiss. Hitomi isn't with him. Where was she? Kano skidded around the corner, then stopped short. The man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. That seems like a bad end. Kano felt hot all over, as if he were on fire. All except for his cheek, pressed against the asphalt, and the palms of his hands. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is, except lie there and watch as his killer turned and walked away. Bad end.
Guess we were supposed
shot by a four. I wonder if they're in any specific order. Shot by a foreigner. I wonder if we should just not do the hints.
Yeah, I don't think we should
figure it out ourselves.
I think the hints just kind of give it. Well, granted, we only have one choice to make.
The first one was a tutorial. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be that we have to make a different choice back here, or it could be we need to play forward as Aichi to change what happens. Because what if Aichi can prevent the kidnapping?
Yeah, that's true.
There's some interesting possibilities going on here. We made it forward 5 minutes, Andrew. We did it.
We already got 2 endings in that amount of time? Goddamn.
Being alive is hard.